20 food truck builders told me when I interviewed them what are the most important key factors in a food truck build out. So welcome to Marketing Food Online. In this video, I'm actually going to recap 15 things that 20 separate food truck builders that I actually called and interviewed and asked what is something that a new food truck owner or someone maybe just starting out needs to know about building a food truck or laying out the food truck interior for the most effective, efficient, and profitable food truck. So let's dive into those 15 things right now. All right, welcome back to Marketing Food Online. And in this video, I'm actually really excited to bring you the results, if you will, of 20 different food truck builders. Wanted to reach out to them and said, look, what are some of the most important things? I am looking to create a food truck business and I am brand new. What is something I need to know about in order to make it efficient and profitable? So many of the things I'm going to show you from number 15 actually down to number 1 as being the most important. We've kind of culminated all of these ideas and brought them down to the most 15 important. So stick with me from beginning to end. You might want to take some notes or watch this video over and over. If you're looking to start a food truck and you want to approach a food truck builder, these are some of the things that they're going to tell you you really need to be aware of before we get started. So number 15, training and operations. This is something that's part of the food truck building process, but also building your food truck business. You want to train your staff on the proper use of the equipment, food handling procedures, and of course, safety protocols. If you are the food truck owner, by the way, you need to lay it out for your employees and make sure your staff knows that. You want to develop standard operating procedures known as SOPs. These are something that we have in our food business as well, in our commercial kitchen. These standard operating procedures, that actually ensures consistency and efficiency in operations. They also told me, number 14, very important, of course, and you've got to budget for this, maintenance and repairs on a continuous basis. Develop a plan for regular maintenance and servicing of your food truck's equipment and your systems. Be prepared to address any repairs and breakdowns that may occur during your service period or your service time. So this is something that you really honestly need to budget for because it's going to happen. You're going to obviously need to maintain it. You need to keep the engine running good. You got to have every piece of equipment functioning properly. So be sure to put aside a portion of your profits every single either bi-weekly or maybe just on a monthly basis. But they told me number 14 was maintenance and repairs. Number 13, documentation and permits. A lot of food truck builders, of course, if you go to a food truck builder and you're having a customized food truck built, or you have a used unit that's going to be retrofitted for custom equipment, documentation and permits, they kept telling me. Keep detailed records of the building process, including permits, inspections, and invoices. A lot of times they were even saying keep them on the truck. In case you might need to have an inspection or something, you need to show a health department. In some cities and counties, believe it or not, you have to show all of this if you do get inspected, because you want to ensure that you have obtained all necessary permits and licenses for operation. Number 12, testing and quality assurance. So conduct thorough testing of all the equipment and systems before launching your food truck. Now, this is another note that if you're having a food truck built, most food truck builders will not let you leave until you actually test out everything and you see that it's working correctly and functioning properly. So before you even drive it off of the facility or drive it out of the facility, you're going to want to test the quality assurance. Then it gives you an opportunity to address any issues or deficiencies, okay, to ensure that smooth operation during the service of your food truck. Number 11, storage and organization. This is key to profitability. Do not underestimate this. Storage and organization is extremely important because when you have a fully functioning food truck that's working efficiently, but is working properly and has things in order, you're going to make more money. If you have chaos in your food truck, like you have chaos in the commercial kitchen, I can attest to that personally, it's not going to work out. So you want to incorporate ample storage space for ingredients, supplies, and even equipment. You want to use shelving, racks, of course, storage compartments to keep items organized and easily accessible. Number 10, accessibility. So design your truck, as they had said, to be accessible to all customers. Now, including those with disabilities. You want to ensure that your counters, your service windows, if you have seating areas meeting accessibility standards, are something that's only going to make you more money because you're going to have more customers spend their time with you. Number 9, safety features. Prioritize safety by installing, of course, fire suppression systems, emergency exits, and safety equipment. Now, a lot of these are actually mandatory when you're having a food truck inspected by either the fire department, by the way, or a health department. They're going to be looking for these anyways. And if you're having a food truck built, the food truck builders, of course, as they told me before, they ensure that all this stuff is up to code as well. You want to ensure that you're compliant with safety regulations to protect your staff and, of course, your customers, right? Okay, next one up they told me was number 8, exterior design and branding. This was something that was kind of on the side of getting people's attentions. If you're at a food truck rally and your truck blends in and doesn't really stand out, it's really difficult for you to just do that, stand out. So you want to create a visually appealing exterior design that reflects your specific brand and attracts customers. You want to invest in this, is spend the money to do this, because in professional branding or signage, even graphics are well worth it. They're going to draw people's attention, and a lot of times the attention is basically how anyone makes business nowadays. You got to get people's attention when you're at a food truck event or food truck rally or even any event. Number 7, insulation and climate control. So proper insulation, of course, climate control are essential for maintaining food quality, but also comfort for your staff. You know, if you're in the middle of a summertime in the middle of Arizona or Texas or even Florida, you've got a food truck, you know that it's super hot in there, okay? So insulate the truck's interior and install HVAC systems as needed, because if you keep your staff comfortable, they're going to stay employed with you. If it's someplace that they dread going to because it's just really unbearable, you're going to have the high turnover and it's going to be very hard to be profitable. Number 6, of course, plumbing and electrical systems. You want to install plumbing for sinks, water supply, and wastewater disposal if you need it. Plan for sufficient electrical outlets. That means you want to make sure if you're working with a builder, they always said, hey, you need to express to us, what type of equipment do you have? What kind of food are you making? Because you need to have enough outlets to make sure that it's functioning properly. Stainless steel, anything that's related to plumbing, you want to plan for sufficient electrical outlets and wiring to empower your equipment safely, okay? Number 5, materials and construction. This was repeated actually over and over. I wouldn't be surprised if I remember every single one of them said this. You want to use durable but easy to clean materials for interior surfaces, okay, countertops and flooring. You don't want to, at the end of your day, the last thing you want to do is obviously you have to clean up and stay hygienic. We got that. But you don't want to clean your truck for 4 or 5 hours at the end of the day, okay? Stainless steel is commonly used for its durability and hygiene properties, so you want to make sure you focus on proper materials and construction. Number 4. Okay, we're almost at number 1 now. Number 4, kitchen equipment. You want to invest in high-quality, commercial-grade kitchen equipment that meets your menu requirements and space constraints. Remember that. Your menu is going to dictate everything about your ingredients that you're going to have. The size of the menu itself. What you have on the menu is going to be dictated also by the equipment needed to prepare it. So keep that in mind, kitchen equipment. All right, number 3, layout and design. This leads to profitability. And listen to what I'm going to tell you. Plan an efficient layout that, of course, maximizes the space utilization and workflow. Again, depending on the type of food you're going to make, that workflow is going to dictate the type of design and layout you're going to have. So you want to consider the placement of the equipment, storage, okay, service areas, and of course your customer interface when you're going to engage with your customer. Number 2, vehicle selection. Okay, this is really crucial. Choose a suitable base vehicle for your food truck. Consider factors such as, of course, size, condition, the mobility. Remember, some food trucks I've seen are gigantic, making them, of course, they're mobile. They go from point A to point B, don't get me wrong. But there's a lot of space constraints when you go to events. If you have an oversized truck that you don't need so much space, it's going to be difficult to park there or stay there and be profitable. Okay, so mobility and then compatibility with your concept and menu. And of course, number 1 thing that we figured out from all of these interviews, regulations and codes. You've got to familiarize yourself with your local health, safety, and zoning regulations that govern food truck businesses. You want to ensure compliance with them on requirements for the vehicle construction, the equipment itself, and the operation. All of these things have normally annual permits, annual regulations that need to be renewed, plus followed. Now, you also, in some cases, some cities or counties change the rules, so you have to stay updated with those too. Most of these builders said, hey, building a food truck is one thing, but it's really super crucial important because you don't want to overlap on regulations or codes or any type of permit or license because you could lose your food truck. That's what they were saying. So these are the 15 key aspects building a food truck you should be aware of if you're going to be in the food truck industry. If you have any questions about this, let us know down below, and I'll see you guys on our next video.